Welcome to the deep dive.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just jump right in today. We're talking about something that, well, it makes a lot of people uncomfortable. Money.
Right. It's almost like the other big topic people get weird about.
Exactly.
Mm.
Sex. It's funny, isn't it? We're supposed to understand both, but nobody really teaches us.
Yeah.
And there's all this shame around them.
Yeah, shame if you don't have it. Shame maybe even admitting you want it.
Totally. So today, we're doing a deep dive based on insights from You Are a Badass at Making Money.
Great book. Really powerful stuff.
It is. And our mission, really, is to unpack what's going on inside, your beliefs, your thoughts, even the words you use every day, how that shapes your financial situation.
And how you can actually change it.
Consciously.
Right. To build the life you actually want. So let's start there. How those really early experiences can kind of set our default settings about money without us even knowing.
It's fascinating, isn't it, how these, unfiltered childhood ideas just get stuck in our subconscious. The book says like a meat cleaver, just bam, that's the truth now. Wow, like a meat cleaver. That's intense.
It is. And the analogy they use is brilliant. Your subconscious is like a 7-year-old prince suddenly running your adult life.
Okay.
Based on all this stuff, it's soaked up as a kid with absolutely no filter. So imagine, maybe you saw your parents fight about money all the time.
Yeah.
Your subconscious just goes, okay, money equals fighting. Fighting is scary. Money is bad. And that just lodges in there as fact.
That makes so much sense. It really makes you think about how much of what we think is real is actually something we've, made ourselves believe.
Yeah, make believe in that literal sense. What you make yourself believe, your experience.
And this isn't just like wishful thinking. There's actual science here too, right? Like that neuroscientist, Ramachandran.
Vilayana Ramachandran, yeah.
Yeah.
His work with phantom limb pain is incredible.
Tell us about that.
Okay, so amputees often feel very real pain in the limb that's gone. It's agonizing.
Right.
Ramachandran used mirrors. Simple mirrors. He'd reflect the existing limb so the brain sees the missing limb looking like it's there and moving.
And what happens?
The pain often just vanishes, or at least significantly lessens. The mind literally changes the physical experience just by being tricked into believing something different. It's powerful.
Okay, so our beliefs are like the bedrock.
Right.
But if we want to change things, what's the next big lever? The book really emphasizes our words and thoughts, doesn't it?
Hugely. It puts it so bluntly. What comes out of your mouth comes into your life.
That sounds almost too simple, but when you think about it.
It's huge. It's not just about chanting affirmations, though that can help. It's realizing that even the casual stuff, the complaining, I'm always broke, I can never afford that,
Yeah.
you're basically casting spells on yourself without realizing it, reinforcing the negative.
The author had a personal story about this, right? Something about not knowing what she wanted to do.
Yeah, for like 40 years, she kept telling herself, I have no idea what I want to do with my life.
40 years.
Can you imagine? And the result, she described it as being stuck in a fetal position of hopelessness.
Oh.
But then she made a conscious switch. Instead of, I don't know, she started saying clues are all around me.
And that changed things.
Completely shifted her perspective and eventually her reality. It opened her up to possibilities.
It's amazing how language shapes reality.
Yeah.
I think the book mentions the Hopi people.
Right. Their language doesn't really have words for past or future in the way we do.
So what does that mean for them?
It means they pretty much exist in the now. Their whole perception of time is different just because of their language structure. It really shows how words anchor us.
If words are that powerful, what's the advice?
Basically, slow down and shut up. Think before you speak.
Huh, okay. A bit blunt, but I get it.
Yeah. And watch out for those disempowering phrases. Things like, I want, which implies lack, or I wish, which is passive. I can't. Definitely, I don't know.
So what do you replace them with?
More declarative stuff. I have, I create, I can, I love. Even being careful with, I know, because sometimes that closes you off to learning more. Be kind of stealthy about using I know.
Okay, that makes sense. Words are anchors.
Mm-hmm.
But the book argues thoughts are even more fundamental, right? Like the real engine.
Exactly. Thoughts are the primary catalyst. The sequence goes. Your thoughts inspire emotions. Emotions inspire action. Action forms your reality.
We hear thoughts are powerful all the time, but breaking it down like that?
Yeah, the book uses a great metaphor like a bus trip.
Okay.
Your beliefs, they're driving the bus, setting the general direction, but your thoughts, they're the tour guide with the microphone. They have veto power. They can change the route.
Ah, I like that. So thoughts are in charge of the narrative.
Pretty much. Your words are like the assistant, confirming the plan. Emotions are the fuel. They really get things moving, powered by those thoughts. And your actions. They're literally building the road ahead.
So the thoughts are the biggest badasses, as the book says.
That's the term, yeah. They really run the show.
And emotions are the key to making it physical, the switch.
Yes. The switch that turns a thought into something tangible. There's this cute story from the author's childhood, St. Nicholas's Day.
Right.
She really, really wanted presents. So even though she knew she might get in trouble, she snuck her little clog outside.
Did she get caught?
Oh yeah, totally punished. But that feeling, that intense wanting, it was so strong it made her override logic and risk the consequences.
That shows the power of emotion.
Exactly. And emotions, they don't really like to share space. If you're full of fear or doubt, you can consciously build up excitement, belief, gratitude, and those positive emotions can literally crowd out the negative ones.
It's not about never feeling fear, though, right?
No, absolutely not. It's healthy to feel everything. The key is not to set up camp there, feel it, acknowledge it, let it go, and choose a better feeling thought.
Okay, so we understand the inner workings, a bit better beliefs, thoughts, words, emotions. How do we apply this specifically to, well, making money?
The book introduces the idea of partnering with what it calls universal intelligence.
Which could be God, spirit, the universe, fate,
Yeah.
whatever works for you.
Exactly. It's presented less as a religious thing and more as a fundamental force, like gravity or electricity. It's there, affecting things, whether you totally get how it works or not.
So you don't have to have it all figured out.
Not at all. The suggestion is just to try on some new beliefs, put them for a spin, and see what happens. Observe the results.
How do you strengthen that connection
Mm.
with this intelligence?
Quieting the mind is key. Meditation, mindfulness, just being still, learning to listen to your intuition, that gut feeling,
Trusting it.
trusting it, and surrendering. Accepting that you don't need to know the how right now. Just head bravely in the direction you want to go and trust that the universe has your back. It'll handle the details.
That's actually a huge relief, not having to figure out every single step.
It really is. And it clarifies where money comes from. It always arrives through other people, shouldn't
Right.
it?
Someone has to hand it to you or
No.
pay you.
But the ultimate source is from that universal intelligence. So instead of stressing about, say, needing money from your boss or from that specific client,
You focus elsewhere.
you focus on the outcome you want. Like, the book uses the example of needing $4,000 for your grandma's first-class trip to a quilting convention.
Okay, specific.
Right. And maybe you have an Obi-Wan Kenobi figurine to sell. Instead of obsessing over who will buy it, you focus on the value it holds, the joy the trip will bring grandma. You align your energy, your frequency, with the having of the money.
Frequency. That word comes up a lot.
It's central, and it completely reframes worry. Get this line. Worrying is praying for stuff you don't want.
Oof. Yeah, that hits hard.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
But here's the good news. If you're good at worrying, it just means your focus muscle is in great shape.
Uh-huh. Okay, I like that reframe.
You just need to redirect it. Point that powerful focus muscle towards what you do want, not what you fear. It's like tuning a radio. You can tune into the lack and worry station, or you can consciously switch to the abundance and gratitude station.
Right. It reminds me of that little story about the tuna cans.
Oh, yeah, the blue tuna cans.
You're looking so hard for the blue ones, you completely miss the red ones sitting right there.
Exactly. Your fixed expectation, your focus literally makes you blind to other possibilities that are right in front of you.
Which brings us nicely to gratitude.
Yes. Gratitude is described as one-stop shopping for basically everything we've talked about. Strengthening faith, shifting beliefs, raising your frequency.
How does it do that?
When you're genuinely grateful, your energy matches the universe's energy, which the book calls the frequency of love. It puts you in receiving mode.
Like the cookie kid analogy.
Haha, yeah. The kid who's super thankful for one cookie, he gets more cookies, he probably gets to lick the bowl too. His appreciation opens the door for more good stuff.
And it's about finding gratitude even when things seem bad. Like the car accident example.
Exactly. Getting in a fender bender right before a big job interview, your first reaction is probably not gratitude.
Definitely not.
But choosing gratitude anyway, maybe the accident prevented something worse. Maybe it saved you from a job you'd hate. Maybe it's the wake-up call you needed. That perspective shift is crucial because you can't see the silver lining through victim goggles.
That's a great line. Victim goggles.
It really paints a picture. And then there's the interior designer story.
Oh, the one who drives around town.
Yeah. Beginning of the year, she decides her income goal. That she drives around, looks at all the houses, and sees them as potential clients, potential opportunities.
Even if she has no clients right then.
Even then, she feels gratitude in advance for the clients the universe is sending her way. And apparently, she hits her goals every year. That faith and gratitude combo is powerful.
So really what this all boils down to for you, listening right now, it's choosing. Choosing to focus on abundance, on possibility, even if your bank account or your circumstances look stormy.
It's like that plane taking off analogy.
Right. You're on the runway, it's gray, drizzly, maybe bumpy. You take off, head into those dark, turbulent clouds.
Feels scary for a bit.
And then suddenly, whoosh, you break through. Blue sky, sunshine, fluffy clouds below.
The sunshine was always there.
Exactly. You just couldn't see it from your old perspective. You have to have the faith to fly through the clouds, trusting the sunshine is waiting. Stay grateful, stay expectant.
Okay, so understanding the mindset, shifting the frequency, that's huge, foundational, but it's not passive, right? Action is involved.
Oh, absolutely crucial. Mindset gets you ready, but then you have to do something.
Yeah.
And the book talks about a specific kind of action, decidedness.
Right.
Real, no-nonsense decidedness.
Deciding means there is no plan B. That's the quote.
It's strong. It comes from the Latin root, right? Decider meaning to cut off.
Exactly. You cut off all other possibilities. You're all in. It's not, I'll try. It's, I am doing this.
That level of commitment, it changes everything. Like that story from Touching the Void.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Intense movie. The climber, broken leg, frostbite, lost, no food, no water.
Just unimaginable.
But his mindset, he just decided he was getting out. There was no other option in his head. And that focus, that complete lack of a plan B, is basically the only reason he survived.
It shows what the human spirit is capable of when truly committed. And it stops you from spreading yourself too thin.
Definitely. You can't do anything if you try to do everything. Trying to juggle too many things, having too many backup plans, it just fragments your energy. Pick a path, decide, and go for it.
Which often means facing fear head on. The book calls it bum rush your fears.
Yeah, take those scary leaps, the actions that make your stomach churn a bit. That's often a sign you're moving in the right direction, pushing your boundaries.
Like Kelly, the woman who needed to hire someone.
Right. She was terrified, already struggling financially. How could she afford an employee?
Makes sense to hesitate.
Totally. But her coach pushed her. Make the decision. Commit. And the moment she truly decided, she said it was like the floodgates opened, business started pouring in, stuff she felt she'd been psychically blocking before. She made something like $26,000 in a week.
Wow. Just from deciding.
That shift in commitment changed her energy, opened her up. Hesitation, the book says, is the crack that all your favorite excuses will burst through. It actively blocks you.
Okay, so decide, commit, take scary action. What about practical paths? Like starting a business?
Yeah, the book covers different routes. Starting your own thing. Pros. Unlimited earning potential. You design your life. You're the boss.
Sounds good. Cons?
Big responsibility. Need serious discipline. Can be lonely, especially at first. You wear all the hats for a while.
How do you find an idea if you want to start something?
Look at what excites you. What are you naturally good at? Or, interestingly, what do people complain about? Solve a common problem.
And then the crucial part?
Do your numbers. That whole do what you love and the money will follow line. Looks great on a throw pillow, the book says. But not so great for the bank account if the business model isn't profitable. You have to check if people will actually pay for it and if you can make money doing it.
Like the woman who bartended.
Yeah. Quit her fancy creative director job, took a bartending gig literally across the street from her old office just so she could fund the launch of her own branding firm.
That takes guts. Choosing dreams over ego.
Totally. And you have to get good at sales. No sales, no business, period.
What about growing an existing business?
Key advice there. Get outside eyes, coaches, mentors. They see things you can't because you're too close to it, like they're on the mountaintop while you're in the forest.
Makes sense. What else?
Figure out what really makes you money, your main revenue streams, and focus there. Delegate everything you possibly can. Look for partnerships or investors. And definitely think about passive income.
Passive income. Like what?
Selling recorded workshops, writing a book, creating online courses, things you create once that keep earning for you. It's about leverage.
Okay. And for people looking to find a new job or change careers?
Get super specific about your dream job. Don't just say a better job. What does it pay? Who do you work with? What skills do you use? How does it feel?
Visualize it.
Constantly. Feel it like it's already real. And remember, what you're seeking is also seeking you. Then do everything you can think of. Network, apply, learn new skills.
Don't be afraid of stepping stones either.
Exactly. Maybe you take an assistant role in the industry you want to break into. It gets your foot in the door. You meet people. You learn. It's all about making the dream concrete, taking those steps, even the small, scary ones.
This focus on action and internal work is powerful. But what about the outside world? Our environment, the people around us? How much does that matter?
Oh, it matters massively. The book really emphasizes this. Who and what you surround yourself with profoundly impacts your perception, your beliefs, and, yeah, your financial reality, too.
There was that example about Italy, right? With the drinking culture.
Yeah, the author's experience. Growing up in the U.S., alcohol was this big, forbidden thing. Taboo.
Yeah.
So when she finally could drink, she kind of overdid it.
Right.
But then in Italy, visiting a friend's family, wine was just there. On the dinner table every night, no big deal, no raised eyebrows from parents. It completely reframed her relationship with it just by being in a different environment.
It shows how much our normal is shaped by our surroundings.
Absolutely. And here's a kicker, a statistic the book mentions. Look at the 5 people you spend the most time with, average out their incomes, and yours will likely be right around there. It's not magic, it's influence. Their mindset, their conversations, their expectations, it rubs off.
Okay, that's sobering. So what do you do about it?
Surroundings-wise.
Start small. Make conscious upgrades to your physical space, your home, your car, even your clothes, the food you eat, the music you listen to. Choose things that make you feel good, that feel abundant. Raise your frequency in your environment.
Makes sense. Create a space that reflects where you want to be. But what about people? Relationships. That can be the really tricky part, especially if loved ones aren't supportive of your growth. Yeah, the book calls this potentially excruciating, and it is hard. But the insight is pretty direct. You can't cling to the old you in your old relationships and grow into the new you at the same time.
Ouch. Does that mean cutting people off?
Not necessarily physically cutting them off, though sometimes that might happen naturally. It's more about emotional letting go. Letting go of needing their approval, letting go of old dynamics that don't serve the new you, creating space.
So how do you navigate that?
Lead by example. Let your results speak for themselves. If someone consistently shoots down your dreams, maybe just don't share those specific dreams with them anymore. Protect your energy.
And find new people.
Yes. Actively seek out your new tribe. Find those high-vibe, wealth-conscious people. Join mastermind groups. Surround yourself with people who get it, who cheer you on, who mirror the success you're stepping into.
It really raises that question. How much do we let outside voices dictate our inner truth, stop us from really blooming?
It's a constant negotiation, isn't it?
Okay, so we've got mindset, action, environment. What else is needed for this kind of transformation? Seems like sheer grit comes into play.
Definitely. Tenacity, an unshakable spirit. The book is very clear. Nobody achieves great success without walking through the fire.
It's not always easy street.
Rarely is. It requires a no-nonsense commitment to just stay the course, especially when things get tough, when you feel like giving up.
Like that finance executive neighbor story.
Oh, that story is incredible. Single mom, 2 kids in diapers, 1 in the hospital, starts her own investment management company using her entire life savings.
Wow, talk about pressure.
Huge pressure. Then faces blatant sexism in the industry, prospects dismissing her. She said she felt like a ghost walking around that first year. Just brutal.
But she didn't quit.
She didn't quit. She held on to her why, her reason for doing it. She hit her spiritual gym, daily reading, meditating, affirmations. She did her homework, studied constantly, got a mentor.
What did the mentor tell her?
Famously told her to go surfing.
Go surfing. Like literally.
Maybe literally sometimes. But metaphorically, it meant ride the waves, stay the course, don't fight the current, trust the process even in the chaos.
And the result.
Her net worth grew by something like 20 times, all because she just wouldn't give up. Pure tenacity.
It really shows what we're capable of when the desire is strong enough. That push it real good idea.
Yeah, like your Grand Canyon story.
Oh man, yeah. Hiking up, totally wiped, legs like jelly. Thought I was done.
And then
My friend yells, "Run, there's the bus." And suddenly, the thought of that bus, that cheeseburger, that shower, I found energy I did not know I had. Sprinting uphill.
See, that intense desire, that reward, it unlocks something. We can do seemingly impossible things.
This kind of tenacity, though, it sometimes means looking, well, crazy to other people, right?
Yeah.
Before the success shows up.
Totally. Successful people often keep the faith much longer than the average person. While they're in the thick of it, They might look insane, ridiculous.
Like Prince, getting booed off stage.
Exactly. Early in his career, opening for the Rolling Stones, comes out in his unique outfit, trench coat, bikini briefs,
Bold choice.
gets booed, stuff thrown at him, does it again the next night, same reaction. But his takeaway wasn't, I should change. It was, I will never, ever be anyone's warm-up act again. That's conviction.
Or the 9-year-old on the plane.
Haha, yes. Calmly, persistently holding his ground against a whole plane full of annoyed adults until he got the window seat he believed was his. Unshakable. That's the energy.
But staying the course doesn't mean being rigid, does it? There's course correcting involved.
Absolutely. It involves some bends in the road, like Miller Brewing during Prohibition.
How'd they do?
They couldn't make beer, so
Yeah.
they course corrected. Made malted milk, non-alcoholic beer, other stuff. They adapted to survive those dry desert years. They kept the desire alive, but were flexible on the how.
And it's important to distinguish urgency from just hurrying.
Yes,
Oh.
crucial distinction. Hurrying comes from lack, panic. It's low frequency, leads to mistakes, burnout.
Whereas urgency.
Urgency is high frequency. It's focused drive, energized action. It's knowing what you want and moving towards it with purpose, not desperation. The book says, time comes to those who make it, not those who try to find it.
Make time, don't just find it. I like that.
If we tie this all together, patience isn't just sitting around waiting, it's active. It's staying in that high-frequency state of focus and action, allowing the universe time to align the pieces, trusting the how will unfold.
Okay, bringing it all home. The final piece seems to be about inner wealth.
Yeah.
Loving your own you-ness.
Yes, this is so important. Recognizing that you have unique gifts, talents, perspectives that are just as important as anyone else's. Your universal intelligence expressing itself through you.
Your specific brand of awesome.
Exactly, your you-ness and true lasting change. It comes from mastering your inner world, your responses, not just changing jobs or getting more money on the outside.
Because if the inside hasn't changed,
The outside changes won't stick. If you still have that mindset of lack and fear, you'll just recreate the same patterns. That's why lottery winners often end up broke again, or diets fail long term if the self-worth piece isn't addressed.
so how do you cultivate that inner well-being, that inner wealth?
Celebrate. Acknowledge your wins, big or small. Seriously, pause and appreciate yourself. What you focus on, you create more of. Appreciation appreciates. Badassery badassifies.
Badassery, badassifies.
Yeah.
Love it. What else?
Forgive. Yourself, others. Let go of that wet sandbag of guilt and resentment. It's heavy and it drains your energy. Forgiveness is for your peace, not necessarily for the other person.
Like Louise Hay healing herself.
Exactly. She attributed healing her cancer largely to radical forgiveness work. It clears so much energetic sludge.
And finally, back to patience.
Back to patience. It's tough in our instant world, isn't it? Getting mad at the microwave because the lasagna isn't ready in 60 seconds flat. We all are. But that impatience, that frustration, it's low-frequency energy. You can't rush the universe. Don't try to pull open the flower before it's time. Trust the process. Breathe. Relax into the knowing that it's all unfolding.
So, quite a journey we've taken. From tackling the money taboo, understanding how our mindset, beliefs, words, thoughts, feelings literally creates our reality.
To partnering with the universe through faith and gratitude. Taking that decisive, sometimes scary action.
Shaping our environment, finding our tribe, and digging deep for that tenacity and patience.
And realizing it all comes back to that inner wealth, loving your you-ness, celebrating, forgiving.
The core message, really, is that you listening. You have everything you need inside you right now to create the wealth, the abundance, the life you desire.
Every single thing. And the universe, it's got your back, it's cheering you on, ready for you to step up and claim it.
So here's something to think about. What other castles from your past, other limiting beliefs you've been carrying around? What if they're actually much smaller than you remember?
What if you choose to step outside that old perspective?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What might you discover but the true size, the true grandeur of your own potential?
Yeah.
Challenge those old limits. See what happens.